Right, let's get on with this thing. There was also another game I was considering starting as well, but I'll hold off for a little bit on that one. There we go. Okay. Alright, so I've updated the category and the title. Oh, hang on. Oops. Going new game. Trials and Tribulations. Turnabout Memories. This is going to be interesting. How did I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your own sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. Oh, Jesus. It wasn't me. I didn't... I didn't do it. "5 years earlier, Mia Fey's second trial." So we'll be doing a tutorial with as Mia Fey? Is that what's going to happen? April 11th, 9:40 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. It's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning.
Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know.
What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed.
Let go my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer.
I'm sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today.
Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service.
Actually, this is my second time in court.
Still, you surprised me. What with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, you suddenly said, and quite forcefully, too.
I just found out yesterday about the case, I mean.
What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts?
Well, about that. You see, I mean, of course I have, I think.
Oh, dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client.
Good morning there. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I've got. Yep, I'll be fine. No problem. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Wright? Actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers? People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. I wish I could. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My doc says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please let go of my shirt. That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly. I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then. And well, here I am. But this time I'm going to win. For my client and for myself.
Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it?
Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem?
I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense.
Pain is fucking in every single game, I think. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency.
Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you?
Yes, well,
You're just a rookie. How are you sure you can? Are you sure you can really handle this?
Your Honor, Mamma Mia, my attorney can do whatever to me. Whatever it takes to prove me innocent. I'm only sick with the flu, not sick-minded.
That did not sound convincing whatsoever. That did not sound one bit convincing. He is guilty. Or at least Buzzy is.
You're just a rookie. Are you sure you could really handle this?
Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think.
Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please.
Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It will all be over soon.
What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me?
Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow.
Does he have a Does he have a half sister named Spitz? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not gonna look. Swallow. It's a bird. Okay. He was talking like he was Deku. Yeah. Like, not confident Deku. Early, early in his one for all Is one for all journey. Anyway. Or the average fan impression of Deku. Anyway,
The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology.
It sounds like he was a very bright young man.
Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police.
That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence.
you know, straight up noticing some interesting properties there. There's a fucking hanging wire. There's an umbrella. And yet somehow we're tying this to a fucking murder case. I see what's going to go on here. There's going to be problems. There's going to be so many problems again, isn't there? There's going to be so many problems like there was with the first one of the fucking last game.
By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo.
Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death.
An unusual death?
What do you mean, Mr. Payne?
Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question?
Huh?
A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a genteel man, if you will.
A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of.
A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? What was it? The cause? Go on. Please say you know at least this much.
I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file.
My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record.
Yep.
Your Honor, the victim...
What? Yee. What the fuck did that mean?
Yee.
Alright. Anyway, date and time of death, I'm gonna guess April 9th because it's American. At 3 p.m. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Okay.
But you knew that already, didn't you?
Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing tab.
All the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there, and think carefully before you answer, my dear.
Yes, sir. I'll do that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. Just press tab here.
Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death?
According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution.
Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new, super powerful stun gun, perhaps?
The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue.
What's that? What's that?
Why, motive, of course. Apparently there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
Bad blood?
What do you mean?
Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this.
Guessing profiles. My client, a third year art student at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. The victim. He was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University, Phoenix Wright's girlfriend. Dated the victim, Doug Swallow, up until 8 months ago. Okay. I'm just gonna say woof, woof. But probably dangerous, very dangerous. Probably extremely dangerous. Don't date crazy. Don't even say, I can fix her. No, you can't.
I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this.
To make it worse. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. Smug attitude.
That's what Winston Payne for you. That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know.
I hardly fucking believe it. Since every fucking, like, case I've been against him in, he's fucking lost. So yeah.
Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time I would like to see some supporting evidence.
Evidence?
Oh, no need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it onto old Greybeard's face.
Yes, sir. Into old Greybeard's face.
Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with tabs, so be sure to go over it. Be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim?
The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here.
Dahlia Hawthorne, is it?
Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story.
He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness.
If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay?
It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection.
Very well.
You're not gonna call Gumshoe? You're not gonna call the fucking detective and just, you know, like, this is how the victim was, and yeah. Imagine your last name being a potential D's nuts joke. Maybe Gumshoe wasn't hired yet. Yeah, that could be true.
The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. To the witness stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect.
No, he means what you do before you were arrested.
Oh, I was a university student.
Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug Swat.
But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you, I was...
Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his code to the rest of us?
Well, he's wearing a fucking mask. Depending on who you ask, whether it's gonna fucking work or not. you know, we already went through a fucking entire pandemic where people got fucking anal about masks. And then there's studies that show the masks did jack shit. So, you know, and then there's some people say, oh, they do prevent. Yeah. Look, the point is, at least he's trying, okay? Shut the fuck up, Judge.
It seems the witness has something he wants to say.
Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Right away, Your Honor. Oops. The victim and I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe.
I see. So you hardly knew the victim.
Right. Like I said, I'm not a killer. Also, I'm not using my... Because, like, I'm trying to put on a sick voice, and, you know... Trying to talk into, like, this blanket. I think this is probably the best way I'm gonna get it, but yeah. Right. Like I said, I'm not the killer. Phew. Looks like the judge understands.
You're being naive, you know. You're being naive, you know. Too naive.
Huh?
It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady.
And that would be...
This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination.
Jeez, I never knew that. Please tell me more about cross-examination. I never knew existed. I never knew evidence existed. All the court record. I have to fucking, you know, do everything. Anyway. Cross-examination?
He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions.
Contradictions?
If a witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record.
But Mr. Wright is my client.
Even if he is your client in court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see.
What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony... Is he saying that testimony just now? That there was a lie? A contradiction? This gets sick, Sean. Ate a bug under a rock after a dog marks it. The fuck? This shit is so trash, my god. Yeah, the fucking... He's obsessed with his new girlfriend.
Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay.
Please, Mr. Wright. Please, Mr. Wright. Tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
Your Honor, I never got that bastard sick because he just happened to be in my way as I was taking my walk. Kid should look more.
I admit I was there. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. The place where something happened anyway.
Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence.
Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident.
A coincidence, huh?
You say you found the body, so who called the police? Huh?
Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police.
Other students?
That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body, in shock.
You have evidence a man died, not a man was murdered. I guess the witnesses are like, they're trying to pin it on him and not like an accident.
What? Is this true, Mr. Wright?
Just stop sneezing every time you're in a bind. Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I... Oops. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. So you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not?
Now see here, you can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day.
Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me? Why didn't you tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly.
Who is this Dolly person?
Ah, yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet.
That's all I knew about him. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Hang on, I didn't mean to fucking... Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? What? Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not the killer. I swear.
Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was how is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe?
Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Can we use Grossberg to summon the spirit of future dead me? That's not how that works. Even if it did, even if Grossberg was like part of the fucking Fae summoning technique. How? Okay, anyway. How do we make him one? Well, first you have to go back in time as a child, drop him off there, hopefully convince the people to turn him into a spirit medium somehow. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but you know, we'll try. Sure we can't do a blood transfusion? Look, if you want to do that, you want to be a mad scientist, you can try it, but I doubt it's going to work. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean? Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured you must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night.
May I ask you something, Miss Faye?
Yes, Your Honor? What is it now?
Who is this person anyway, this Union Jack fellow?
Your Honor, give me 3 hours. I have a morally questionable medical procedure to do.
This judge, man. This fucking judge. He's sheltered. I believe he goes into every case with no knowledge of the outside world. So as to, like, be completely unbiased. So he just forgets everything that would make him biased towards anything. That is dedication. I think he was born and raised here. I don't think he's ever left this courtroom. That's a possibility too. It's a possibility too. You know, it's probably like the Fae, the Fae spirit mediums. Maybe there's like a judge, clan, you know, and that's just what he's done all his life. He's just been inside this courtroom. He doesn't know the outside world very well, you know. So as to be completely unbiased towards everything that comes his way. So you cannot have bias, otherwise, you know, it's not fair. It's like a Fallout vault. It's a judge vault. Anyway.
The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag.
Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right?
As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me.
Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now?
Mia, there is a contradiction here.
Mr. Grossberg.
Quickly now, show that boy you mean business, with evidence, I mean.
Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. Yep, no Union Jack.
Oh, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point?
Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back.
Miss Faye, is there some point to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute, he's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression you accidentally came across his body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing. Underneath that, you would have had no idea at all what he's wearing underneath that jacket. Fuck me. Let's do that again. I'm distracted by the music. No, unless they were gay and having sex. Fuck. Blue just like. Anyway, it's Blue's fantasies. Okay. You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing. You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me.
Mia, you've made our client cry.
Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong.
That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it?
Yeah, I took some, but...
Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X?
Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How'd you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X?
Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now?
Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere.
You lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now?
Huh?
Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene.
What's this? In the victim's hand, it's
Cold Killer X, and there's a fucking... Of course, there's a... That's gonna be brought up.
His watch is stopped.
Conveniently, his watch stopped. And at the time of the murder, I bet.
How'd they get this angle of the photo?
Why is he still holding it? That's the question.
It's Cold Killer X.
Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to.
Oh, I get it, because Cold Killer. Because, you know, trying to imply he's the killer because, you know, the name of the brand is Cold Killer and the developers thought they were being fucking smart. Cold Killer, why?
Your Honor, we can't even see the bottom half of the bottle. It could be Cold Killer. Why?
Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What the fuck is that kind of fucking logic? What is that logic? What do you mean? Ah, yes. Gets the bottle of... What? I'm just... Okay. Alright, fine. We're going down the fucking stupid route again.
Order in the courtroom.
Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence.
Very well, the court will accept them into the record.
Oh, yeah, I told you, victim's watch stopped at the time of death. Conveniently stopped at the time of death. Found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints.
Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Broken?
Alright, date and time of death says 3 p.m. What does the fucking watch say? Yeah, I guess it does say 3 p.m. Yeah, it's 3 p.m. Well, yeah. Just on 3 p.m. Like 10 past 3, I think. No, that would be 5 past. Yeah, that'd be 5 past 3. You have to orient it fucking because it's upside down. So it can't be IIX. So I just think it's IIX. There's XII, which is 12. But it is interesting how the fucking 6, like, dash is gone. Yeah. What kind of watch is this? Your Honor, he is wearing a fake watch. I demand we have this watch tested to see if it's genuine. I don't know why I said genuine and not genuine. Anyway. Broken.
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it.
Well, that would make sense. If it's a fucking fake watch, that means it's powered by a battery. And not, you know, if it was like a... Like, there's a lot of watches that are like crystal. That run on like a crystal thing. I don't know. I mean, hell, I don't even think it would really... Would electricity fuck up most watch batteries? And make them stop functioning? I feel as though that's not even... I don't know, I feel as though that doesn't happen. For a digital watch, yeah. But for like mechanical, you know, just need something powering the mechanism. I don't know. I don't know too much about watches, but it's just convenient. Convenient how the watch has stopped. Anyway.
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all this?
This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks. My poor hemorrhoids. Well, I don't want to fucking know about your hemorrhoids, dude. I do not want to know about your hemorrhoids, or your buttocks, or your sphincter. Having hemorrhoids. I don't want to know. You think he got scammed with an authentic British watch made in China? No, I think he was the one doing the scamming. Waiting for it.
Your Honor, I wish to...
You wish to what? You wish to what, Buzzy? Okay. Well, he gave up. His batteries died. And he got fucking electrocuted. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department. So we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 o'clock, we split up. Then later when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different testimony that you gave previously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Faye, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly.
And this Dolly person is...
My, it's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart.
Oof. Oof. What was that? Oof. What? What was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden.
Dahlia Hawthorne was Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is.
So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see.
Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time.
You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU.
An alchemist, I see.
I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious that he had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details. So you're absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure that's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping something up. Whipping something up. Fuck. Oh, it looks like he's right about the time anyway.
Goodness, let's go on with your testimony.
So what was it you were talking about? You know, then maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright, why'd you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly. Just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious.
Ouch! Why did you punch me in the jaw?
No, I'm sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden.
Well, Mia?
I don't know. I can't seem to find any contradictions.
The boy isn't exactly what I'd call a natural-born liar, you know. But still, it's lying, you know. But still, we can't have him continue to spout nonsense.
I know, but what can I do?
Well, I'm certain he must be still hiding something. Information. Right now, it's information we need more than anything else.
I was wondering if you could tell us more about the pharmacology department. Oh, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right. And they sure look dangerous. They use non-static voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere.
I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death, and then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
What do you mean?
I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor?
How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor.
So, how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Fay?
I believe that if we were to piece everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence.
Of course I know that. Actually, I'd totally forgotten about that.
Now then, Miss Fay, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? There's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here.
Not a murder weapon. It's just an accident.
I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Fay, where exactly in the photo is the murder weapon?
Well, naturally, it's right here.
What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. Maybe he's hiding that he did the murder. Yeah, maybe Payne is the murderer.
So then the high voltage cable...
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order.
Don't toy with me, old man.
Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant!
What? That much is certainly true. And the possibility that the cable snapped and accidentally killed him is not... There's no possibility of that. There's no possibility this was an accident. There's no possibility. There's no possibility that it was an accident. Anyway, that much is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
And with that, the weathercast was right about thunderstorms, and with an umbrella would lead to a shocking conclusion. A storm on a bright sunny day is quite the predicament.
Predicament? I think he read it like predicament because I think it's an A predicament. Right, fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well.
You mean...
Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the very defendant's own hand.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder. He squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
Order! Order! That's enough. I think we conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done. Stick a fork in us, we're done. Stick a fork in us, we're done.
Mr. Grossberg.
My hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. What, you don't need the fucking witness testimony? You don't need the witness testimony, Your Honor? You don't need this fucking other witnesses? No, it's just, that's it. Wow, case shut and fucking closed. No wonder this country's gone to fucking shit. No wonder this state has gone to shit. California has gone to absolute shit. Even worse shit than it was currently in before the fucking, reforms. God damn those politicians. Abolishing the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Anyway. At this time, I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay?
Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict.
But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be...
It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me.
Miss Fay?
No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Wright?
I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what really happened.
And speaking of shocking conclusion, the judge never aged from past to present. Therefore, he'll look the same when he's in a coffin.
What?
But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further...
I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead. Let go. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, that's bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that.
What you just said was the truth?
Yes, I was afraid if I told you the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure.
Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are.
But please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim.
It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
I need to look this up, Harlem Shake. Okay, it was credited... Okay. The Harlem Shake was credited in 1981. Alright, so... Alright. Wait, hang on. Yeah, the dance... Harlem Shake is a style of hip-hop dance categorized by jerky arm and shoulder movements in time to music. The dance was created in 1981 and first known as the Olby after its creator. The dance became known as the Harlem Shake as its prominence grew beyond the neighborhood. In 2001, G-Dep's music video for the song Let's Get It introduced the dance to the mainstream. Okay, so it's not something that's a modern interpretation, like, you know, the translators decided, oh, we're just going to add this Harlem Shake line because we want to be hip with the kids. Anyway. Oops. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead.
Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mrs. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that.
A simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, then I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that.
Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said he said that she was a bad girl.
Is that all?
Yep.
Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself.
Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light shove to the chest. And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen? Right. There was nothing like that at all.
But is it possible that you merely overlooked it?
Well, I guess it's possible.
What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap...
Don't let the guy steamroll... Fuck me. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt.
I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness.
At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap! You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was.
Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. I guess manslaughter isn't really a charge in Japanese law, is it? Because from the sounds of it, they still classify this as murder. Apparently, yeah. I don't know. I guess we have to look that up. If manslaughter is like a thing in Japanese law. I mean, the thing is, Japan has the death penalty. And they do hanging. So, you know. They don't do lethal injection or, you know, firing squad or, you know, electrocution. It's just hanging. And I believe the Japanese courts have like I think it's like a 95% conviction rate. With like, maybe that slight percentage going to, to cases where it's just like, okay, this is a little bit more nuanced, you know. But yeah, Japanese court system is, it's quite extreme. There have been judges that, that have put down like a not guilty verdict, and they've quit. They're just like, you know, they retire after it. So, you know, it's interesting. Alright, Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try and remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Ah, could it have been... Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it and it broke. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard.
An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail. Kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone.
Miss Fay, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
Well... This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony.
How perfectly fitting flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony.
After I shoved him, he fell down on his cheap umbrella. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella? Are you certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see, I was wearing the sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen that handmade symbol of her love.
My stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia.
I'm so sorry.
Continue with your testimony, witness.
Okay, that's... Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier.
What do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
Whenever they had an objection, a huge gust of wind blasted the courtroom. Wonder what anime court would be like if animated now. Someone slams a piece of evidence on the table and the table explodes, sending the judge and jury away from an immense blow. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive.
No!
Order, order, order! The victim, he moved. Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want to present it as evidence immediately.
But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind.
According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind.
But...
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment.
No!
I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess, you have another witness?
Exactly, and this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. I know it's inconceivable, but it's just can't, sounds similar.
Inconceivable! Inconceivable!
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly?
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right, she was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this.
You can't be serious.
Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop. I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
District Court, defendant lobby number 3. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. Hang on. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's all right. At least you tell us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I can start to relax then, huh?
Relax, my boy. You can't be serious. After hiding such important facts?
But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side, anyway. Anyway, one day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me on the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this.
So she gave it to you as a present, I see.
This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the world, with the whole world. Also, making like Phoenix Wright sound a little bit younger, it kind of makes him sound like a different character, or at least the way I'm voicing it, he sounds like a different character. He's a young and naive Phoenix Wright. So, you know. Dahlia's present borrowed from Phoenix Wright. He shows it to everyone. To be frank, he is acting pretty different from how we know him. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. Please give it back now. Oh my god. Well, yeah, he's dumb. He is young and dumb.
What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was! But how did you... This happened on August 27th right here in this courthouse. What's this, a newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder?
What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases, am I correct?
I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself.
Yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find.
Thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Miss... I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We'd better get moving. We better all get moving.
Need a drink of water. Please give it back. It's like... Just how dumb was he? Anyway. I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Really? I thought it just seemed like fucking 5 minutes. Ba-da-ba-dum, ba-da-bum-ba-dum. Alright, trials and tribulations.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness.
This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand.
What's with this stiff silence?
In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit you radiate a glow of complete sincerity.
Uh-oh. We're done for. She's going to charm everyone. At very least, this one is not fucking, like, at least she's 20. At least there's no fucking, you know... At least it's not like the fucking case with the goddamn circus. Anyway. The butterflies just follow her. I guess they do.
They followed her into the courtroom. I couldn't even stop them. We have a quarantine zone. No animals, no bugs allowed, but they somehow came in.
I can't believe he actually said that.
Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name?
Don't worry, sweetie. There's no need to be nervous.
If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size.
And I will bash them with my gavel.
I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You are all so nice. I'm almost feel right at home.
Not at all.
It was nothing.
If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University.
Your Honor, she did it! And I know exactly how she sent her butterflies to chew the electric cables and cause it to fall on the victim.
Okay. Dude, you can't even say cables right. You also called him Hana. Johanna. Johanna. She did it. I know exactly how. She sent her butterflies to chew the electric cables and cause it to fall on the victim. Now, I win the case, okay? What the fuck am I doing?
I just want to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine.
No, the honor is all mine.
Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Sir? Is there something I can help you with?
You must go on and say whatever is on your mind.
I'm sure there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes, I can see why you'd say that.
She's going to be a tough witness, all right. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please.
I had been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth. But I would never. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey. What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes. We've met before. Once.
In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours.
I need to read this because I didn't... Very little information is being disclosed at this time, since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. Ah. Why does he have the fucking why does he have duck lips? Or is that, you know, it's supposed to be like seal lips? What kind of Chikawa face? Just, you know, what is the reason for him making this face? Up until 8 months ago, so that's also a coincidence.
At least I know what reason whatsoever. I'm giving you a gold star sticker for being the best girl.
I don't know what he was trying to say at the start there. Kind of did not... Yeah. Anyway.
In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours.
Even Knuckles has seen before. It's good to see you again, Madame Fey. Madam? I'm no one's grandma yet, girly. I'm no one's grandma yet, girly. I had been planning to go back to the Phoenix place after class was over.
Now, unless I'm mistaken, Mr. Wright is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese senryu poetry.
Oh, how wonderful. It's that humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes?
Nothing left to do. When a man reaches his age, sleep is his best friend. That's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis. For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through that back area.
Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors.
How else would you enter? Teleportation? Are you saying the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeney never did a thing to Dougie. If I press her for no good reason, I know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne. So let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never.
Miss Fay, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found in Mrs. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth.
There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor, I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony. It looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. You didn't see it? Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground.
At the time, there was only two of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow.
Yes, that's right. So then, what did it look like they were doing to you? What did it look like they were doing to you? I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation. Oh, give me a break. That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony.
I went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities. When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department? Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. Please try to stay on topic. So to find some pharmacology students, you went to the labs, correct? And that's what I was planning to do, but in the end, I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on. The students knew what was going on? But how could the students have known what was going on? Well, I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just, they all seemed kind of excited about something. Doesn't look like I'm going to get any more info about the students.
So, did the students call the police?
Yes, I was so panicked.
Yes, well, anyone would have been, my dear.
That girl, she's telling a super obvious lie, and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's gotta be it. Way to go, Mia. Okay, that means I'm going to have to dig deep to find the contradiction in this one. Hmm. No. Wait, hang on. Oops. Hmm. There we go. Yes, I knew there was something there. You say you didn't hear anything unusual, is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have heard the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect. That when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this? Why didn't you hear this noise as well? Why didn't you hear this noise as well? I actually like this theme. Like this this melody. Anyway.
Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable.
Excuse me. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. Ah! May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean the both of your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up. It seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put my headphones on to block it out.
Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all.
Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. Your Honor, there's a problem with the witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, what about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Fay.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me.
Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt.
It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you don't...
I've heard that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Fay.
Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location. What? What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence?
This affidavit.
And who is this affidavit from?
The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
All of the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
So it was an accident. I mean, look, even if you just establish this shit, like, not in this context, but let's just say, okay, they broke. How was the suspect to know that after pushing someone and then the cables broke? Shouldn't you be suing the fucking, like, power department or suing the university? Shouldn't... You know... Because that doesn't make much sense. But okay. Okay. Clearly, you know... Yeah. You know, we just have that... Or just how it is. You were genuinely expecting her to say she's been deaf the whole time. The old power cable broke due to some sort of impact at 2:55 p.m. Well, that's 5 minutes. Problem. His watch stopped at fucking 3:05. So, yeah. I guess just this, it's just this city's fucking, you know, the general incompetence of the investigators. Yeah, probably. Anyway.
However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been... Then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Fay, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor? I don't like how this... I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well, then let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break?
Could be.
This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Well, Your Honor?
I believe that the only thing that has snapped in their mind, snapped is the mind of defense.
That was one of your best lines yet, Your Honor.
Ouch, that was harsh. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance.
And then let's hear it. It was Winston Payne all along.
This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Well... I don't fucking know. Okay, I'm gonna have to fucking look this up. Okay, apparently Phoenix Wright. I have to accuse my own goddamn fucking... Right. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony.
The defendant's testimony?
He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct?
Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that...
Lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage.
Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion. And it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted.
I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne.
What's that supposed to mean?
Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? That's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into the pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break.
Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he could have been electrocuted. Then he could have been electrocuted by this severed cable in the foreground here. Ah! In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim.
Order! Order in the court.
The lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them.
It's true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have...
Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madame Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them.
Uh,
What the...
Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
Of course, it's all right. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony.
This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole, that's when the cable broke. Then Ducky tried his best to run away from him. But Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. Why is she changing her testimony to, like... She's now changed her testimony to accuse her boyfriend, but before she didn't? What the fuck is going on? Okay. Logic here is interesting, but okay. Alright. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted? It all occurred in less than a minute.
So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Feeney. I just have to tell the truth. I'm doing the right thing. Am I, Mr. Judge? Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony, you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I know. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeney. So that's why you basically lied to the court? I was a bad girl. I know. I was a bad girl. I know. Mr. Judge?
Yes?
Would you please forgive little old me? Of course he won't. What'd you call it?
Oh, come now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget about it this time, but please be more careful from now on, all right?
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Not at all.
The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl. I got an achievement for that.
That's when the cable broke. Okay.
You saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole? I know he doesn't look it, but Feeney can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeney really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed.
So let me get this straight. You are happily listening to music on your headphones while you watch this scene unfold? What? Miss Fay, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering the witness. I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on. Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? Well, I wish the best for them both, that they would each give the fight their all.
That's very sweet of you to be so supportive.
And what happened after that? That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found in the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket? Well, no, there weren't. Madame Fay, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeny wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away. That's understandable.
Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold.
If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lies, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia.
All occurred in less than a minute. I think... Yeah. That's enough, witness.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture?
Oh, that medicine, that's the one Feeny likes to take his cold.
It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Fay?
My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping?
Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Yeah.
Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow.
Order in the court.
This is nonsense. The real murderer...
Even you can't deny the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for.
Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it?
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer?
Miss Fay, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer?
It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready.
Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fay. Now then, Miss Fay, let's have it. Who is the real killer?
We are pinning it on Dahlia. It can only have been you. It can only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne.
How can you... The defense is grasping at straws.
10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke, and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing the whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop them. That you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. The men dearest to you. Fucking... I'm not reading these lines properly.
Order! Order, Miss Fay! Order! Miss Fay! What is it?
I didn't get to read it. Fuck. Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands.
How can you say something so mean, Madame Fay? I didn't do anything.
Miss Fay, this is a very serious charge.
Your Honor, please, I have something to say. What is it? Please, strike everything the defense said. Strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Leave my Dolly alone. That boy. That boy. He's gotten himself in way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You better take a good look at it. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Location, District Courthouse Cafeteria, date time, August 27, 4 p.m., victim Diego Armando. Occupation, lawyer. Suspect, Dahlia Hawthorne. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, really, Your Honor, May I interrupt you for a moment, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. Go right ahead. Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. I told you that you should let me handle this. Sorry, please go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear.
I believe the girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. Fuck.
The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally met. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Further testimony? What about...
About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
What can that possibly have to do with this case?
The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence to suggest that she, in fact, had a very good reason.
Very well, then. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge. The poison. The poison is that it's in there. It's in there. That's gonna be the crux to it. It's gonna be the crux. Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room.
The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going on ever since that fateful day.
We're so lovey. We're so lovey-wovey. We literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think.
Mr. Wright, do that again, and you will be held in contempt of court.
And now we enter the final act of our little drama.
As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her.
I'm gonna press out everything. Fuck it. So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow?
Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. Letting my emotions change so quickly. I'm ashamed of myself.
No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle.
Maybe you should look for a different line of work.
Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct verdict. That's why some people also call him the great Judgini.
It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room.
I'm gonna take this.
Take the charging cable off.
The courthouse reading room? That's a strange place to meet the love of your life.
That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeney was not only an art student, he was also planning on becoming a lawyer.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room?
This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Faye, I'm warning you, if this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case...
I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue with her testimony.
Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases Your Honor, the answer is simply this. I had come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing.
You were writing a paper? On what?
On the relationship between modern Senryu poetry and the criminal underworld.
That sounds like a fascinating research idea.
Am I getting old? Now I've forgotten what I've forgotten.
Again with the midlife crisis stuff.
Mia, why did that girl really come to this courthouse? Isn't it what you wanted to know? And speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report, have you? I went through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear, so be sure to read it carefully.
There we go. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason?
What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Faye?
8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy.
Another tragedy?
Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned?
The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in the criminal case just 8 months ago.
Order! This is unbelievable. It's true then, the loveliest rose can hide such a...
Miss Faye, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it. Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking. Pardon me. Go right ahead. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Expressed some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. So I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago.
I see.
Okay. I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've got to stay on the offensive.
Well done, Mia. Well done, Mia. Oh, you really lit a fire in my heart and my buttocks.
I didn't really want to know what fire was lit where. Just stop talking about your goddamn hemorrhoids! No one wants to know!
I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids.
I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that.
So what's happened here? So that's what happened here 8 months ago.
However, as you've heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne, but I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'm sure, and I'll be sure to show them to you. And I'll be sure to show. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. What the? Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger?
Ha, Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing.
The poisoning. What were you talking about with the defense attorney? Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential.
According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case.
The lawyer that was killed. He said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger. Why don't you tell us all what that incident was? That has absolutely nothing at all to do with the case.
Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record.
You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne? Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign.
Don't worry, Dolly. I'll protect you. You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady.
Oh, Feeny, please.
Ugh.
Those two are really making me ill, albeit for decidedly different reasons. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. How long were you gone? I've already answered all these questions for the police. But if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes? And where were you during that stretch of time? Using the toilet?
What are you saying, Miss Faye? Toilet? My perfect little Dolly doesn't poop? What the fuck? Why?
You heard the defendant, Miss Fay. Better luck next time.
No, Feeny, please. The police have already looked into this whole matter.
Fucking bullshit!
Why was this a fucking line? Why was that a fucking line that they just decided to fucking... Why can they say, my darling doesn't pee? Would have been... it's just, you know... All right.
This line of questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time.
Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue with your testimony.
But how much liquid is excuse me. But how much liquid is 2 teaspoons?
Well, let me see. My bottle of eye drops says it's 1.5 fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons.
So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh? The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there. A special kind of poison? How so? Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect.
Oh, and where would something like that come from?
I'm sorry, all I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it.
Chemical processes? Well, that's quite impressive. Most impressive.
The better question is, how did the criminal get something like that? Ah, but you do. Yep. I'm like, but you do, your boyfriend at the time. I'm just thinking of like Princess Bride again. It's like the guy is used to poison. He built up an immunity to poison, and plays the game with that guy. Anyway. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison? I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab.
Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow?
That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University.
Pharmacology?
His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. And also, sorry, Monster, I meant to say hi. I got distracted with the fucking comment from before. I just, you know... a fucking character saying what he said, just, you know... Yeah, but I'm well, thank you. Hope you're doing good. Anyway. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all.
And then it was a matter of slipping into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at this very table. You. No!
Order! 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 Could it be?
That's nothing but a baseless... May I say something, Madame Faye? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container.
Well, yes, that's true.
I was searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? She got me good with that.
Provide some evidence or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead.
The police conducted a full body search of Dahlia and of the courthouse, and of the entire courthouse. A full body search, oh dear. And yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred.
If you're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder, then where is the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it?
You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. I pointed it out earlier. I'm like, it's a bottle. she gave it to Phoenix Wright. And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched.
Who is this person?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. So the defendant was this witness's accomplice? Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as this. A present. What? But that's...
That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye?
The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th. The same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away.
What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here?
No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. No! She turned into Waluigi. Or Wario. Well, Waluigi more so than anything. Yeah. Wario's, you know, rotund, so he... Whereas, you know... Or Wapichi. Or Apricot. Because, you know, it's kind of funny. Even though it doesn't make too much sense, but yeah. Apricot would be a great name. But Wapichi would probably be the... If they decide to make a bad version of Peach, which I think they eventually they were going to, but then they scrapped the idea. Still, would have been great if they had it. Wapichi, you know. But they're not going to make fucking new characters. They don't do that shit. Anyway,
order in the court.
On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this.
Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat.
Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because
Because I'm madly in love with her.
Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway? Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is because of that necklace. Dahlia Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that.
For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying. But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why I don't believe you. No! It's a lie! That's a lie!
Mia, you alright? The defendant, he's getting away. Bailiff, hurry! After him! Hurry, after him. Mia, are you alright? Are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
Oh boy, you went completely insane.
Where's Mr. Wright?
It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough. Thank goodness. Oh no.
Thank goodness. Oh no.
What is it?
The bottle necklace with Hawthorne's present. It's gone.
What? That's terrible.
Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me.
Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court.
I'm so sorry.
I'm afraid your apology is not enough.
Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me. I'm so sorry. It's okay, just give back the necklace. I ate it. You what?
You ate it?
It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first, but yeah. Well, he's pathetic when he's younger. Fuck me.
What is he doing now?
Your Honor, you've got to stop this trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That body you swallowed had some poison left in it.
It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain a deadly poison.
How can you be so sure?
I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So it would seem.
No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency.
There. It's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see that you placed this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong.
That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Fay, I cannot accept your explanation of the events.
But why?
This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in a court of law, evidence is everything.
Even after I prove so much, is she going to get away with everything?
Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial.
Mr. Wright?
I'm so sorry, Miss Fay. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down.
Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say?
There's something I forgot to tell you.
What is it?
The day I met Doug Swallow.
Let go. You shouldn't see her anymore.
Hey, it's none of your business.
I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news.
You're lying.
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole poison from our lab.
Poison?
Same thing that happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time, too. It can only have been her. That girl is a thief.
Stop it. Don't talk about her like that.
Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous.
There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him.
What?
She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly.
Your Honor, the defendant is...
Miss Fay, you tell them the truth. You tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent.
So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? You put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony. And there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison the night before she killed Doug Swallow.
The night before?
Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone.
Miss Fay,
if you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this.
Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. This is something that she desperately wanted to get back, therefore...
Exactly who is Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? Winston Payne.
There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. And that person was... Mr. Phoenix Wright.
me?
That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that was how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact... you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be.
But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love.
Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was
The one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace that's all... The bottled necklace. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about.
But even so, why would she go so far as to murder him?
8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria. Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met.
You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright?
Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence.
That can't be true.
Feeny. What a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and the necklace. You disgust me.
Miss Hawthorne?
It appears that we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine. I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Well, hey, old man, you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face?
Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you?
Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now, if you don't mind.
But we're not finished.
Fine. Then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. I can't let her get away this time.
Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer.
The ultimate price?
You'll be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid.
No. You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Fay. Or should I say Miss Gray?
Well, Miss Fay, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all?
If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. To be honest, at this point I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible! You can't possibly! Stupid woman.
It is the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented.
Just one?
If you are able to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright.
I understand, Your Honor.
I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. And the poison was probably in there.
Well then, Miss Fay, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright.
This. I'm like, well, you know what? She probably poisoned, because why the fuck did he have it? Why the fuck did he have that? So, yeah. You know, this one is not as ridiculous as the last one. Like, as in, like, the one that happened, the first case of, Justice for All. It's not as ridiculous. But, you know. There are some kind of weird things that happen, and just the whole accusation of him in the first place, but anyway. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all.
Cold Killer X? Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine?
Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold?
If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned.
What?
Remember what the defendant said in his testimony? But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some.
And now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine.
I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence?
What are you talking about?
8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That was when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright.
I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant.
Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That was when she realized, I can't allow Doug. Fuck, I didn't even get to fucking read. I can't allow Doug to be a witness. Yeah. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some of the students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poisoned cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago?
8 months ago?
Yes. She disposed of the evidence exactly the same as she did back then. She had someone else hold it, and in this case, Doug Swallow. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey, Mia Fey. Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? Oh, she turned into a fucking demon. That's just fine. For the time being, victory is yours. For the time being? Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay?
Huh? Yes.
I'm going to spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best.
Boy, is she creepy.
Phew. It's finally over. It's finally all over. I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim.
But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it.
I don't care. I'm Winston Payne. I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said... There. It's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see, yes. And here comes the back pedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? My hair! My beautiful hair! No! No! I'm bald. Wow, he freaked out so much he lost hair.
Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for her immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning.
No, you didn't fucking not. Don't lie, just admit you were wrong.
And by the way, Miss Fey.
Yes, Your Honor?
Was it just me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other?
Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case.
Very well. Miss Payne.
This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter.
It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say?
It can't be true. My dear Dolly!
Very well, then. I believe I am ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Not guilty. He not guilty. He never did nothing wrong. Anyway, this court is adjourned.
3:16 p.m.
Austin 316 says I just whooped your ass.
Right.
Mia, you were wonderful in there.
Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg.
During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius.
Could you not give that fucking imagery? Could you fucking not for 1 second? For 1 second? For 5 minutes?
I find the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. But I do find the defendant in need of surgery. Get that poison out of him, damn it.
Actually, he needs the glass shards out of him, because they're not going to fucking digest. He needs stomach surgery to get fucking glass removed from his fucking stomach. Yeah, he needs surgery to get the glass removed from his stomach. There we go. Anyway.
During the verdict, I thought my... fuck, no, we already read that.
Mr. Grossberg, do you maybe think you could stop talking about them?
Well, that's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with a client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this.
Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations. Whoops. Congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking... Go on. The dolly I saw up there on witness stand. I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the dolly I know could never have said those kind of terrible things. Maybe she was, like, I don't know, a fake or something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right. It's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. What kind of company does this guy keep What kind of company does this guy keep? Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself. And that's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Faye? A lawyer is someone who can help people when they're... A lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay. I'm going to do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all... Fuck me. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned, and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia is gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. Turnabout Memories, the end. Okay. And we just hit 3 o'clock, so... I'm actually going to do this, because I know what's going to happen. It's going to immediately play the next episode. We'll wait for the next time I play this. Yeah. All right. Because of the time change, the daylight savings change, yeah, that means 3 p.m. now is the time that it's midnight for EST, which that is usually my stopping time. So yeah. Anyway, that is excuse me. Time for me to head off. I got some stuff to do. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for dropping by, say hello, whatever you did. Thank you very much. You're awesome. Hope you realize that. And yeah, I'll see you guys for the next one. I'll might see about doing a stream tomorrow. Well, tomorrow night for me, but would be like, I guess it would just be Friday morning for like most of my audience, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know what's happening. We'll see. We will see. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's good that we I got what's name finished, the Mad Vent finished, so that's done. Started we started the next game in the Ace Attorney trilogy, so the last game for Phoenix Wright, the Phoenix Wright trilogy anyway. But yeah, anyway, I'm waffling on. I'll see you guys for the next one, so stay tuned. Make sure you look at the Discord for when I'm streaming next. But, of course, as always, no matter where you're in the world, no matter what time it is, stay safe and have a nice day.